Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say we had an awesome launch on Friday yesterday on our shirts, and I want to thank all of you for the support and your orders. I can't thank you guys enough for the time for going through and watching the channel and helping us grow. Obviously, the shirts definitely help the channel out too. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys enjoy today's video. What's up, guys? And today we're going to be talking about an issue that is all very common, and that is going to be getting out a stripped AVCS bolt on a Subaru engine. So these are really common on dual AVCS engines. That is going to be 08 plus STI, and they tend to torque themselves over time as the engine's running, as well as being torqued when they go on. And for whatever reason why, they like to strip, and they are very difficult to get out. Usually I use my Snap-on 10mm Allen, and I've had really good luck of them where I haven't had any strip in a long time. But unfortunately, I finally had one, and to get that out, I was looking for the tool that I used to use, and it looks like it grew legs and walked away. So we went and got these Irwin extractor kit. This is what it used to be that I used, but it only goes up to 5/8, so that did not work. We need 11/16. So in town, the only thing I could find is obviously Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh, and it's 11/16, so it's going to be this guy right here. Now the only downfall to this is 3/8, so I'm not too confident in that. Usually I like these because they have a nut style on the back, and I can put a 1/2-inch socket on it. Even though they're 3/8, I can put a 1/2-inch socket on it so that I don't break it. So we also got one of these 3/8 torque wrenches from Harbor Freight too, in hopes that we don't break it, but I don't have too much confidence. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. Look who we got over here playing tuner. He's getting his tune from Ambot Tuning. They're working on his pump gas and then his flex fuel, so he's doing some data logs today. And look how clean the garage is, guys. You guys would be proud. I get so much crap all the time, and I try my best to keep it clean, but with working on so many different things all the time, it makes it difficult. But you can see like blues in the air. We have more coming on that soon. Obviously, we've been kind of doing stuff to it. And if you take a look, a little sneak peek down in there. Oh, what is that? So, more to come on that. But we just finished up building this long block here yesterday. I didn't record because you guys seen me do many of these. But as you can see there, this is a Benson sleeved block that I just put together. And that one was ready for pickup for that customer, so he's going to come get it next week, I believe. But this engine here, this is actually the one out of that car when he got it, our 18 STI, and it's supposed to have a bearing failure. So we need to get this thing apart. I didn't want to check the heads, make sure the cam journals are all good to go, and we are actually going to use these cylinder heads for JR at my WX channel, because he's making the trip all the way from Seattle area, and I'd like to have all the stuff to put his car together in a weekend versus pulling his car apart and then having him leave it here and figure out a way to get back and so forth. So we are gonna get those off today, see what kind of condition they're in, and if they're good to go, good to use, then we're gonna be using those as cores for him. He already went ahead and sent over some BC cams and valve training to put into these heads, so let's fingers crossed that they're good to go. I don't think that we're gonna have any issues with it. Judging by what the previous owner told me, he heard the noise, just literally drove it right down the road to his house and parked it ever since. So we will get to see more on that today. If that's true or not, we'll see. But looks like we got a fan over there barking away. So let's get to it, guys. Enough talking. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna set you up, and we're gonna try to test that Pittsburgh tool out and see if it's actually gonna work. No faith.
None.
None. Let's go. So here is our AVCS bolt that we obviously have stripped out, and we are going to try to get that tool on. We're going to have to use the hammer that on there, and then we'll finger cross that we don't break anything. Got our handy dandy Company 23 tool. We'll tap that guy on there. There. And let's see how this will work. Now you want to make sure it's even and on all the way, because if you don't, you usually don't get too many tries at this. So we will try that, and unfortunately we're not gonna have the best angle there. Shoot. We will try that. I don't think this 3/8 is gonna hold. Oh, it actually held. I can't believe it. But as simple as that, guys, we have that. Then what you want to do to get the bolt back out of this is you just need to tighten, which obviously it's not going to work for me right now. But we'll take it out and just hit it out like normal. I can't believe it worked. Oh, the bar is bent now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it is, at least. And that is how you remove a stripped out AVCS bolt, guys. All right, we're not out of the clear yet. We still have another one. We're gonna try to use just our snap-on Allen. I haven't tried that one yet, so hopefully that one doesn't do the same thing, but worst case, we have the tool now. We can fix it. Oh. Yeah, those things are tight. Woo! We won. Oh, now we got 2 more. You gonna get that out?
No. Unless you take it.
How far in is it? Oh man, there, we gotta do the hand trick. Boom. She's in there.
Yeah, that's right there.
Usually you can tighten these and it'll just kick it right back off.
Mm-hmm.
1, it's Harbor Freight, so that's questionable. 2, I hit that thing on there pretty hard. But it came out, so that's all that matters. Even if we had to buy another tool for it, who cares, right? No.
It's stuck in there.
We'll hit it out. We got that one out. We got that one loose. So that is gonna be the end of that quick tip for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting these heads pulled off, and I will update you as soon as we get them off, guys. You dealing with spiders?
Yeah, it's fucking spider webs all over.
Whoa! Language!
Oh.
Guys, looks like we got good news. I never did start this motor when we got it. I just heard a video of what it sounded like. He had started it and sent a video. So I just went ahead and accepted it and never even touched it. I'm really curious to see what's in the oil pan because I'm not finding anything up in the top end of it. So that is good. These heads are actually in good shape. And just common wear and tear on the journals there, as you'd expect to see. I mean, look at it, it's pretty much spotless. Even coming down to here, everything looks good. Cams look good, so these are a good rebuildable set of heads. So good news for you, JR. We got some heads. I'm gonna finish getting these tore off of here, and when I get those off, I should be able to see a mark on the piston. If the rod bearing was bad enough, what will happen is the piston will actually touch the head because you're losing the clearance of the bearing, and it's so close already to the head that that piston sometimes comes up and touches the head. So that'll be one way for us to see it, and we're gonna get the oil pan off of this as well and take a further look to see how much damage is in there. But everything's looking pretty decent so far. So what I'm seeing, if it does have a bearing failure, it looks like the previous owner did tell the truth and he just barely drove it down the road, because I mean there's literally no damage up here, so that's a good thing. Let's continue.